Friday, 3:47 p.m. The city outside my office window simmered under an early summer haze. Inside, the air was clinical, too still. I was combing through the final merger documents for a client with too many assets and not enough foresight. My screens blinked with contracts and projections. Then the text came through. "Hey, Calla, don't come to the barbecue. Jolene says you'll stink up the place." Sent by Rowan, my brother, followed by 4 laughing emojis. One from Maeve, my mother. I didn't respond. I muted the thread, opened my Wells Fargo app, checked recent activity, flagged 3 suspicious notifications. It didn't sting. It chilled. That kind of humiliation doesn't slap you warm across the face. It slides in like frostbite. They didn't care that I was busy managing a $70 million merger. They cared that Jolene, their latest family mascot, had claimed me unfit for ribs and lawn chairs. Ever been disinvited not because of what you did, but because of who you are? I logged it. Not in my phone. In my head. There, the burn smoldered longer. Saturday morning, 7:14 a.m. The glass walls of my office glowed with the first wash of Manhattan light. I was already 2 espressos in when Amy, my assistant, buzzed in. "You have visitors," she said. "No appointment." I stepped into the lobby, and there they were. Rowan, stiff in a borrowed blazer. Jolene, wrapped in linen and Chanel perfume, beaming like a step-forward wife who'd found a camera. "We were just in the neighborhood," Jolene chirped. "Thought maybe we could pitch something exciting to you." I didn't answer, just held the door open and gestured toward the conference table. Rowan fumbled with his laptop. "It's a farm-to-table tech concept. Local produce tracking, community-based investment." Daryl had the idea. Actually, he stopped short. "Ah, so the husband was in on it too." "We heard you're launching a new sustainability fund," Jolene added. "A mutual friend said you're scouting early-stage ventures. We thought." I slid a folder across the table. It was a copy of a loan application, with my signature forged at the bottom. Guarantor, Calamarin. Amount, $80,000. Their faces shifted. Rowan paled. Jolene didn't blink. "You didn't think I'd find out?" I asked. Silence. Then Jolene leaned back, smile dropping. "You always did think you were better than the rest of us." "No," I said. "Just quieter." I reached for the phone. "Amy, hold security." Rowan stood. "Calla, please, we can talk." I stopped him. "You'll walk out of here, on your own, and you'll remember every step." They left. No goodbyes. Just retreat. Would you confront family who tried to use your name? Or let it slide? That night I sat in bed, phone in hand. Instagram was lit with photos, paper lanterns, a table full of ribs, Aunt Jean holding a margarita. The caption, "Family is everything sparkling heart." A comment below, quickly deleted, tagged me, "Glad the air's fresher without the toxic energy." I didn't cry. I didn't rage. "They think silence is weakness," I whispered. "I just don't waste bullets." I opened my email, drafted a formal report of identity fraud, addressed to my bank, then another, to Ezekiel Rudd, my private attorney and the quietest man I know who could ruin lives before breakfast. I labeled a new folder on my drive, Operation Clean Break. I uploaded files, screenshots, loan records, IP address histories. Then I went to sleep. Ever felt like your absence was more powerful than your presence? The first seed didn't come from the barbecue. It came 2 years earlier. Jolene had pitched a skincare startup over holiday cocktails. Low inventory, high markup, little transparency. I declined politely. She sneered. "Women like you invest in ideas, not people." She wasn't wrong, but she wasn't right either. That night, I'd caught Rowan sneaking into my office. "Just printing flight passes," he said. But the footage showed him photographing my ID. I never confronted him. I waited. Until now. Because now I knew. Jolene didn't marry my brother out of love. She married into a last name, a net worth. I pulled out another manila folder from my safe. Inside, copies of every document tying family members to joint assets, cosigners, shared deeds, even petty insurance claims. The first move wasn't mine. But the next 10? They're already written. Would you forgive a betrayal just because they're family? Monday, 6:03 a.m. The Tribeca skyline glowed faint blue as the city yawned awake. I sat cross-legged on the floor of my apartment, laptop open, safe door ajar beside me. Inside lay the folder I labeled Marin 2020. Inside that, the hard copy of the fraud report I drafted less than 48 hours ago. Bank account numbers, forged signatures, screenshots, timestamps. But I didn't hit send. Not yet. Instead, I picked up my phone and dialed Ezekiel Rudd. He answered on the third ring. Rudd. It's time, I said. He didn't ask for details. He never does. But I gave them anyway. A quiet rundown of the forgery, the pitch in my office, the way Rowan couldn't meet my eyes. He promised a counter-review by noon. If silence doesn't protect me, I murmured after we hung up, it can at least position me. Then I opened my email. Typed, urgent, potential identity fraud. Please initiate full credit freeze on account ending in 4721. Attachments enclosed. Hit send. Next, I printed the final version. Slid it into the safe. Closed the door. Turned the dial. Would you strike first if it meant protecting your name, even from family? Tuesday, 5:48 p.m. Amy handed me an envelope, no return address. Thick, hand-delivered. My name handwritten across the front in block letters. Inside, a manila dossier heavy with pages, screenshots, emails, bank statements, all tracing back to Jolene. Each page painted her with a little more venom. Shell accounts opened under fake product names, inflated inventory invoices, a mirrored payment trail run through Daryl's contracting business, dates going back 5 years. Taped to the final page was a note, written on ruled paper. Just 4 sentences. I failed to understand you. I believed silence was strength, but you were the only one fighting clean. This is what I can do now. Signed, Eldon. My father. The same man who barely spoke my name at family gatherings. The same man who watched Jolene cut me down for years, never stepping in. Now he sent me this. I read the note twice, then slid the dossier into the safe. Placed it on top of Marin 2020. Have you ever been seen by someone too late? Wednesday, 9:12 a.m. Ezekiel arrived early. We sat in the small glass conference room near my office. I laid out my directive. No courtroom. No confrontation. I want a record that chokes their business, not their throat. He nodded, took notes with his usual mechanical precision. I slid him a USB drive. Fraud complaints go out today, I said. Every financial institution tied to her. No warnings. He paused. Are you ready for the fallout? I'm not planning on falling. That night, I arrived home late. A small cardboard package waited outside my door. No postage. No sender. Inside, a child's thank you card. Blue crayon letters. Thank you for telling the truth. I know my mom lies. Signed, Lyra. She drew a stick figure of a woman, holding a sword. Labeled it, Auntie Calla. I stared at it for a long time. Not because it hurt. Because it told me I wasn't alone. When did you learn that protecting truth comes with a cost? Thursday, 4:39 p.m. My inbox chimed. A secure Dropbox link. Sender, Talia Green. Subject, from the vault. I clicked. A video loaded. Grainy. 5 years old. Private retreat. Wine glasses, murmured laughter. Jolene's voice rose above the chatter. I hooked Rowan for access, she laughed. Poor guy still thinks it's love. But Calla? She's the one with the accounts, the legal firewall, the untouchable sister. Laughter followed. Then a pause. She thinks she's better than us because she reads contracts and never cries. But she would have crashed and burned without someone like me in the family to charm the room. My jaw didn't clench. My fingers didn't flinch. I copied the link. Opened a new email. To Ezekiel Rudd. Subject, use this. Body, thank you. I'll make it count. Attach. Send. Ever heard someone say what they really thought of you when they thought you weren't listening? Friday, 7:30 a.m. I drafted the email before breakfast. Subject line, for records. Recipients, every Marin family address, including Maeve's work account, including Rowan's consulting inbox. Attachments, the forged loan application, screenshots from the dossier, excerpts of Eldon's note, the retreat video. I didn't write an intro, just one closing line. Silence is no longer protection. It is permission. Choose wisely. Click. Sent. No replies. Only read receipts. Even Maeve's. 7:34 a.m. I closed the laptop, dressed, walked out the door. The streets were cool. People brushed past me on their way to jobs, errands, places that wouldn't collapse under the weight of family. Next time we're all in a room, I won't be the one staying quiet. Would you expose the truth, even if no one thanks you for it? The Marin backyard buzzed with the sound of charred ribs and strained laughter. Rowan stood over the grill, spatula in hand, flipping skewers with too much force. Maeve passed around her signature sangria, glass pitcher sweating under the summer heat. Kids ran through sprinklers. Neighbors leaned over the fence. It looked like any other Saturday, but everyone was performing. No one mentioned the email. Then I stepped through the gate. Muted navy dress. No dish. No smile. Conversations died mid-sentence. Jolene's grin froze on her face, stuck between fake and fear. Rowan's hand slipped off the tongs. Daryl moved first, half a step forward like a bouncer at a bad bar. I raised one finger. He stopped. I walked past them all, set a manila envelope on the picnic table next to the potato salad, and pulled my iPad from my bag. I connected it to the Bluetooth speaker nestled behind the folding chairs. Have you ever walked into a room where everyone secretly hoped you wouldn't show up? The speaker clicked. Then her voice. I hooked Rowan for access. I mean, he's sweet, but come on, Cal is the one with the assets. Gasps spread like wildfire through the crowd. Jolene's voice, again louder now from the recording. She thinks she's so clever with her spreadsheets and trauma walls. Truth is, she'd be bankrupt in a year without me charming the room. Daryl lunged toward the speaker. I didn't flinch. He hesitated. I handed Maeve a stapled packet of credit reports and screenshots. Then Rowan. Then Eldon. Each one stared like they were holding something radioactive. This was private. Jolene screamed, cheeks blotched red. So is my credit score, I replied. When truth is finally revealed, do you feel relief or exhaustion? The audio cut. She dropped to her knees. Tears smudged mascara, a wobbling lower lip. I'm pregnant, she whispered, loud enough for the entire yard. Please, this family means everything. Protect the baby. Please. No one moved. I unlocked my phone. Tapped once. The voicemail played aloud. Hi, Kala. Just confirming the negative results on the ultrasound. No signs of pregnancy on the scan, dated Tuesday. Maeve gasped. Daryl's knuckles went white. Rowan staggered backward like someone just cut his strings. I leaned down, meeting Jolene's eyes. I came to clear my name, not ruin yours. That part you've managed just fine. Would you forgive someone who only tells the truth after being caught? Eldon stood, slowly, no theatrics. You dragged my name into your lies, Jolene, he said quietly. You co-signed those accounts with me and Maeve. Behind Kala's back, Maeve clutched her wine glass tighter. She needed help. She was trying to. Don't, I cut in. You chose her because she was easier to love. Rowan broke, voice cracking like a boy. Did you ever even want me to be your brother? I wanted you to be better than this. Does blood truly make someone family? Or is it how they stand beside you when it counts? I picked up my bag. No one stopped me. Not even Maeve. Not even him. The walk down the driveway was quiet. Not a car, door slammed. Not a single child called out my name. That night I made tea. Sat by the window. Didn't turn on the news. A courier knocked. Handed me a letter. From Eldon. I read it once. No salutation. Just a final, aching apology I'd waited too many years for. I folded it neatly. Set it in the sink. Struck a match. Some apologies come too late. Some families do too. My phone buzzed. An email. Subject. I have something you need to see. It's about Jolene. Would you open that email or finally close the chapter for good?